Okay, so welcome to a lunchtime session, and I think it's nice to ring the changes. It's nice to be able to do something at a lunchtime, hopefully catching people on lunch breaks if that's necessary, but also I seem to have run out of evenings to do things, so I'm pleased that you're able to join me, and then we'll share this with everyone else that can't do today. So we're at the beginning of the month. Hopefully you're aware that we're focusing on our Be Lovely range this month, amongst all sorts of other things. So I'm going to do a bit of a whistle-stop tour of products, partly around just the ingredients, and then you can add that information to the products that you're going to talk about with treatments or with workshops and showcases. And we'll look a little bit at platinum things as well to try and delve into that. So I will share my screen. We'll get started. Move it. Good. And it is perfect. Okay, so what I wanted to start with is a little bit of an overview of the range. So we've got a number of products in the Be Lovely range, but as a kind of a few things just to remember about all of them, which if you've been around a while you might take for granted. So it's a family friendly range, and the reason that we label it as family friendly is it's suitable for everybody from 3 years old. So we have our baby products, which are for teeny tinies, and then really from 3 years old, the Be Lovely, because it's got such gentle essential oils in there, then we can label it as from 3 years old. It's also, apart from the all over barn, it's generally in plastic containers, again, just to be safe around the bath. And I know that then brings up some conversations about plastic and glass and recycling and all of that. But it's, as you may be aware, all of our bottles are PCR, which is post-consumer recycled. So they were something before and they've been made into our lovely blue bottles, and they are recyclable. So if you're going to use plastic, at least we're using it in a kind of closed loop. And around the bath, you wouldn't want glass, you know, with family. So that's the other reason for using the plastic. And if you haven't noticed, particularly the bottles with the pumps on, so the hand wash, the bath and shower gel, and the body lotion, they're all 295 millilitres. And all of our other hand washes and shower gels and body lotions are 200 ml. So you're getting almost an extra 50% for about the same price. So again, family friendly and in cost conscious as well. So there's a few things there as to why we think they're for the whole hive. And you have to excuse the puns this month because they will keep coming until the end of the month. Okay, and right, moving on. So I wanted a little history lesson. This image is in downloads, and generally I try and share things that are accessible to you. But just so that for anyone who isn't as old as me, hasn't been around as long as me, we launched our Save the Bees campaign actually 11 years ago in 2011. So we also launched our first Be Lovely product, which is the ever popular Be Lovely hand cream. Slightly different packaging back then, as you can see. So that was our first real campaign about the neonicotinoids, which is the pesticides which are used, which scientists believe are the part of the reason that we're struggling with colony collapse for beekeepers. I'm actually a beekeeper myself, so I'm a bit too close to some of this occasionally. But just so you're aware that actually in 2013 we had collected 120,000 different signatures, and that was through our retail stores, and it was also through consultants. We were encouraged to do parties, particularly at the time, face-to-face things, and collect signatures so that we could force the government to debate the issue with neonicotinoids. So you'll see the picture there of a few of the marketing team who were actually attended Number 10 Downing Street to hand in the petition. And you'll hopefully have seen that Annabelle did a similar thing recently. So this wasn't signatures of individuals, but she actually has done an open letter which has been supported by 50 different companies on the same problem, because Neonicotinoids were banned a few years ago, but actually then they've been reintroduced because it was a ban for a certain length of time. So it's now, we're now home to fight the same cause again. So that's a little bit of why we're going back to that. And then since then, we've always donated a percentage of our income from the Be Lovely range, and currently 3% of sales is what's donated. So it's also a nice thing for you to be able to share with your customers and your clients. And they go to the charities do change over time, but I'll talk about a couple of them as we go through, and a number of bees that we've helped, particularly in Ghana. So there's your little history of why we've got the Be Lovely range and why we're so passionate about bees in the company, and why May is, it's a big deal to us. Okay. Whenever I click, it's going to go the wrong way. Okay. Now, as of I guess Sunday, in downloads, you'll find this image of we've helped save 50 million bees. So the 50 million bees is an interesting number. As a beekeeper, I'm like, nobody's counted 50 million bees. So the way that I've worked it out is in the summer, at the height of the colony, and when the colony's at its largest, there are generally 50,000 bees in a hive. So if you divide that back, it gives you about 1,100 hives. And I think the numbers that we're quoting is we've created 1,000 hives, so 1,000 or a little bit more. Yeah, so bee counting is not something that happens because you'd never get them all in the hive anyway, because the worker bees are always out foraging if the weather's good. So Bees for Development, this is one of the charities that we've been supporting, and particularly this is around the 50 million bees that we've helped. And we always said we would help 50 million bees by the year 2020. So we've done that, and now the 3% of sales is now moving on to increase that. So this is, I think this is a lovely story about Ghana. And this information, you don't need to scribble it down, it's on your website. It's actually, I think, with every single Be Lovely product, in the description are these words, and that's where I got it from. It's not come out of my head, so you can find it there. You don't need to get writer's cramp from writing it all down. So the main charity we support through sales of Be Lovely is Bees for Development, which has introduced bee colonies into cashew orchards in Ghana to boost harvests. And that's often what happens with hives, with industrial hives. You've got little people like me who have hives in the bottom of their garden, or maybe on a field somewhere, but actually industrial hives, what happens is they put dozens and dozens of hives on a trailer, and they're actually taken to crops that need pollinating. So sometimes you might see this, that there's like a low loader in a field with loads and loads of hives on. So they take them for when that crop needs pollinating, and then once they've pollinated, they shut the hives up again and they take them on somewhere else. But actually in Ghana, these are going into cashew nut orchards, which help pollinate the trees, which obviously increase the crop production as well, and increase the income for the cashew nut farmers. It's a unique project, benefits both the bee populations and farmers. Yes, really, exactly like locum bees, they get taken wherever they're needed. It's like, yeah, like supply teachers, you take them in wherever you need them. So this is helping bee populations, because if it's in crops which are known to not use things like neonicotinoids, then the colonies will be healthier, and the farmers are getting much better yields of their crops. So from yields doubling than from previous studies. So the farmers earn valuable additional income from honey. Bees for Development identify and support cashew growers who are the most vulnerable and the most in need. So as ever with Nealshard Remedies, there is always a story behind the headline of what we're doing. If you've got any questions, I have got the chat up, so pop your questions into the chat if you need to. So I'm going to look at a few ingredients now, and again, these little cards are in downloads, so you can find these, and I think these are quite nice ways to be able to talk about the ingredients and some of the good that we're doing when you're doing workshops and showcases. So particularly if I'm self-hosting, and online, if people are using the product, you need a little bit of chat, don't you? So that it's not just, oh, isn't this lovely, rub it in and, you know, it feels great and smells lovely. You want a little bit of substance as well to be able to chat about what we do. And using these cards, I think, gives your customers and your clients a bit of background about not only what does the honey do, but where does it come from? And it gives a provenance story, which then, just without having to be over salesy, you're helping your customers really discover all the different levels of Neal'shad remedies. And I think that's so important that people really understand what we do behind the background, in the background, to create these lovely products, which they probably know are natural, they probably know they're lovely and they're good for their skin, but actually all the levels of good that we're doing around the world. So from a skin point of view, honey is very moisturizing, and our honey is fair trade and organic honey, which comes from Mexico. And I've also been asked many, many times, why can't we use British honey? And why can't, but actually, because our island is quite small, we can't actually guarantee that bees would go to only organic crops, because they fly up to about 5 kilometers from the hive. So, and bees need, generally, they like to have lots of different pollen. So if they can go across from my garden, for example, they'll go in any of the gardens down to the local garden centre. They'll go to the oilseed rape fields when they're around. They'll go to, and you know, anything else that they can get to with flowers, with pollen and nectar. So you can't force bees just to go on to organic crops unless your organic crops are acres and acres and acres. So in the UK, that's not a practical way to buy honey, which is why we get it from Mexico. What do bees do with honey if it isn't harvested from the hives? Good question. It's their winter stores. So actually in an organic production, the farmer will leave honey on the hives at the end of the season for the bees to be able to eat through the winter. Otherwise, if you take all the honey, you have to feed them, you effectively feed them white sugar back again to get them through the winter. And I think lots of us wouldn't want to eat processed white sugar ourselves. We often use honey or maple syrup or something like that that's a sweetener. So in industrial honey farming, what they do is they take all the honey, because that's the cash crop, and they give them white sugar back again. It's not a great story. Yes, they will do. Our beekeepers would leave enough because it's an organic production. Okay, so another ingredient, again, this card is in downloads. It's the organic orange oil, and this is from Italy and also from Mexico. And our Bee Lovely range has 2 essential oils in some of them. Some of them only have orange, which is why we talk about the orange here, but we also use mandarin as well, and I'll come to mandarin in a moment. But beautiful, uplifting, that zesty kind of alive feeling that you get from lots of citrus essential oils. So when people are using the Bee Lovely products, if you're using them and washing your hands with it, it's absolutely gorgeous. You get that really zesty, puts a smile on your face, doesn't it, at the end of the day? So it's a great one to use. So on to mandarin. So just thinking about, again, another essential oil. So mandarin is our essential oil of the month. Mandarin is traditionally used to help calm. It's also soothing and supports positivity. Now, you might think that if orange is similar to mandarin, that why is mandarin soothing where orange is actually quite uplifting? And it's just interesting, isn't it? The different fruits that are very similar in many ways, but actually have different benefits from their essential oils. And that's what I love about aromatherapy, is those little nuances of different fruits and different plants that we get the essential oils from and what they're used for. So mandarin, this social media tile is in download, so you can use that. It says it's warming and soothing. It's also very good around children. It's a very gentle essential oil, which is why we use it in this family-friendly range. Now, it's also in the calming essential oil blend, and I've got some tips in a minute as to how to use these for any of your showcases, or if you're letting anybody smell different essential oils, it's quite nice to use an individual oil and then let someone smell it in a blend. And a little bit of history in the calming essential oil blend. This was specifically designed to use around children. So I think I used to train it out as something like that kind of time out blend. So when everyone's a bit fractious, there's too much energy, we just all need to sit on a quiet step, even if that's metaphorically. The calming essential oil is a really lovely one to use in a diffuser, just to give you that moment of, okay, let's all take a breath and take stock and just calm down a bit. Anecdotally, people find this is quite good with a Springer Spaniels. I was doing training one day explaining this about with children, and someone said, do you know what? That worked with my dog. Now, we can never obviously advocate using around animals. If you do have animals and you're using essential oils, make sure there's a door open so they can move out of the room if they don't like it. But it's always quite nice to have a couple of little anecdotes up your sleeve as well. So yeah, this lady said her dog was normally just, particularly with a Springer, when the doorbell goes, it's but when she'd used this, she put this on for friends coming round, and actually the dog, said hello to everyone and then just went and quietly laid in its basket and had a little snooze. So she thought she could keep using that. Okay, right. So let's have a look at the individual products. If you've got any questions about the ingredients, obviously pop them in chat as we go, or any other questions. So a couple of things about the All Over Balm. It is our product of the month, and it's a multi-purpose balm. So a little bit, I suppose, as we tend to talk about Wild Rose Beauty Balm, but this is a body balm rather than Wild Rose Beauty Balm being primarily a facial product. Now, if you've got a Be Lovely product with you, it's just, even if you want to open it and just smell the fragrance, Tanya, you're the only person that I can see in my little thing, so it's great that you're interacting with me. It gives me an idea of, oh, you like your All Over Body Balm, you're using that. So great one for any dry skin, particularly elbows, knees, heels. As we're coming into sort of spring and we're possibly getting our legs out a little bit more, dry shins, all those places where people just think, oh, do you know what, I need a bit of extra moisturizing. So this is a 99% certified organic product. Because it's a balm, it's made from oils, which can all be certified organic, unlike a cream or a lotion which has a proportion of water in it, so therefore isn't such a high percentage of certified organic, because we can't certify water. Now, a couple of good things about this. Great to have a focus on the All Over Balm, because I think it's something that gets a bit forgotten about, but also for your hosts, between the 1st and the 20th of May, your hosts have the option of adding this as a half price product on top of their free and half price shopping. So lovely way to be able to encourage people to book with you up until the 20th of May. So nice one to be able to share. And again, these images are all in downloads. Moving on to the hand wash and the bath and shower gel. So we've got these are perfect for a hand soak or a foot soak, and I will come to treatment and showcase ideas in a minute, with the uplifting essential oils. And if you want to double check exactly which essential oils are in which product, I tend to go back to my replicated website and just look on the ingredients or look on the description there, because then I know that I've got the exact information. And what I tend to do, if I'm doing something online as well, I tend to do this idea of screen sharing, and I show people where they are on my website. So if they want to go and look for themselves afterwards, they don't have to remember everything, but you're giving them a quick guided tour of your website. So if they're shopping for themselves on a link, then they've kind of got an idea about where to look and how to shop. Saves, in the old days when we had full-size catalogues, they kind of would know where to go and look through a catalogue. So I'm trying to recreate that, as I say, particularly online or in WhatsApp groups with, this is how you can try and find all these products. So here, both of these are 295 millilitres, and we have this collection of the two, which if you put the two together, they would be £26.50, whereas the two of these are actually £20, which is great value. You get £10 hand wash and a £10 bath and shower gel. So I think this is one that people will be probably liking the idea of if you're doing showcases and workshops. It's a marketing thing. So no offense to anyone who's a marketeer, but sometimes we seem to do a discount off. Sometimes we do a was and then. I think what we're going away from is a percentage, because that gets quite confusing. So no, no reason that I'm aware of. It'll be one of those ones, those of you who've known me a long time, when I'm queen, some of these things will get standardized across the ranges. Okay, onto the body butter and the body lotion. So the body butter is in a large tub. It's a plastic tub. Again, if you've got a Be Lovely product that you can just open and smell that fragrance, the uplifting essential oils, if you happen to have the body butter with you, it's a really thick, luxurious cream. So we've got cocoa butter and shea nut butter there. So really moisturizing, great for people prefer a creamy, buttery texture rather than the oil of the balm. This is a really good alternative to the all over balm. Again, just totally depends on how people like to use products. So I often ask people if there's a texture that they like. So if they like cream, or if they like lotion, something a bit runnier, or if they like an oil, because the balm is effectively a solid oil. So those are the kind of questions that I ask people, because if they say, oh, which one should I have? It's like, well, I don't know what their preferences are until I actually ask them what it is they like. So it might be they want something. So the lotion, obviously with a pump, really quick to use. So for people who want the speed of a pump, that could be the way to go. People who like a bit more of that spa feeling, taking a bit of time to use a product, will like the jar, the larger jar, which you kind of undo and have a bit more of a ritual about it. So the lotion is 295 mils, as I've said, really good value, and will absorb a bit quicker than the butter does. So again, that's slightly speedier, speedier way of using a moisturizer. Yes, Marie, yeah, I've also, well, do you know what, I'm one of those people that glances at things and think that I understand. I'm not the reflective type very often. So yes, I'm the one that looks and goes, oh, 650, that's good. And then, yes, I have to make sure that you're right, Ruth, people don't read, and I am one of them. We're all in such a rush for everything, aren't we? And then the last of the products, we've got the hand cream and beautiful lips. So really good for traveling, for bags, for desks, you know, those portable ways of having portable Be Lovely range. So hand cream, really easily absorbed. I think a real unisex fragrance. So I did an event a couple of weeks ago, and I had the Be Lovely hand cream to test, and also the Wild Rose. Just think the packaging on them speaks to people as well, and it's a great one. You know, if there's a family there, for kids to be able to try, for, you know, men to try as well. So it's not all about floral fragrances. And often if there's a group of people that all go, oh yes, I love it, then they'll have one for the family rather than it just being for one person. And then lips, we've got the beautiful lips, which is the lip balm in a tin. So one of the ingredients in here is castor oil, and that actually is really, that's what gives it that slightly glossy look. So if people want a lip balm which gives a bit of a sheen, it's the castor oil in there which does that. And of course, with anything that's a balm, you can use it on any other dry skin, so cuticles. You could use this on, you know, dry elbows or anywhere else. So for traveling, it's a really nice little compact pot, and an aluminium tin and a recyclable plastic label. And again, lots of this information I've got from the website. It's not specifically things that I know and keep in my head. So if you haven't looked, look at one or two of the Be Lovely products on your website, on the replicated website, and you'll see on the product, there's everything you need to know about how to recycle the packaging as well. So if you want to talk about that to clients and customers, then it's a great way, a great resource for you to be able to go and have a look at what is recyclable, what isn't, so that you know that you're being honest about it. Okay, I'm keeping an eye on time because I really want to make this a snappy 45 minutes. So I think we're doing okay. Tanya, you can give me the wind up signal if you think I'm overrunning. Yeah, you're right, actually, with the beautiful lips. A lot of people do prefer the metal tin to a glass jar. I know people who prefer the metal tin of Wild Rose Beauty Balm, just a bit smaller. And you can wash it out and reuse it. So I think the beautiful lips could be, you know, reusable with the all over balm if you wanted to do a travel size, and people then reuse the packaging. It's something that we, you know, during this time of really focusing on sustainability for the company, so Neil Jard Remedies, it's, you know, our sustainability campaign time. We do need, I think we need to be talking more about what we can refill. So people have the small jars or tins, to be able to refill those for travel is a really good idea, rather than buying smaller pots which are often plastic, to reuse. So I'm always saving these aluminium tins and relabeling them with whatever I'm putting in there. Okay, so let's go on to some ideas for how to engage our customers and our clients with some of these products. So treatment idea for therapists. So could be a foot soak. So this could be an offer for May. It could be something that you design for actually further, you know, throughout the summer as well, because the fragrance of this is so summery that I think you could use it anytime. So my recommendation is that you have the calming blend in the diffuser. So you've got the synergy between the mandarin in the calming blend and using the Be Lovely products in the treatment. So for a foot soak, you can use the hand wash or the shower gel. For a scrub for the feet, the frankincense and mandarin body polish. Obviously, again, that thread of the mandarin going through. And of course, this can be a foot soak, and it could be, you know, a leg, kind of, you know, knees and down, I guess. So using the scrub for feet and for the lower leg. On the heels and on the cuticles of the toenails and the all over balm. So you're getting in that oil texture, which, as I say, particularly good for dry skin around the heels. And then for a foot and leg massage, I'd recommend the Body Butter. It's got more slip to it. It's a richer product. So actually that, and you'll have a little bit of the all over balm on the feet as well, will give you that really lovely texture to be able to do a nice foot and leg massage. And for reflexologists, you might want to incorporate a little bit of this as part of your treatment. Or if you use a balm or a wax or a cream for doing reflexology, for this next, you know, couple of months, you might want to pop in the Be Lovely all over balm or the Body Butter instead of what you wouldn't use normally, just to shake things up a little bit, you know, so that your clients have got that, the different sort of sensory perception of coming in at different times of the year, that you've got different fragrances of product, so it kind of takes them through the seasons with you. And then titles, oh, the puns that will come through this month are going to be absolutely terrible. So, you know, be lovely to your feet, busy feet need a treat, you know, that kind of thing. You can obviously jazz it up as much as you would like to. And if you wanted to do a broader treatment, so you might want to do it for a back or full body, you might want to include a body brush at the beginning, so that you're using that to start to use that for invigorating, for detox and lymphatic drainage as well, and then use all or part of these products to design a different treatment. So any questions on that at all from therapists or non-therapists, doesn't matter, because you could use this as one way of doing a showcase as well. Yes, lots of refills going on. Yeah, I think it's important for, Ruth just commented about therapists changing up routines. Absolutely, I think at least every 3 months, it's really good to refresh themes and topics and treatments, so that when you've got clients coming into your treatment room, or if you're mobile and you're going to clients, even for, I'm not sure these days how many people go for monthly or even every 2 months go for treatments, but it's really nice to be able to change up what they see, what they smell, gives you different topics to talk about as well. Yeah, no, nice. Yeah, nice for you to be able to just think outside the box a little bit. And that's why I don't want any of you to feel like just because Neil Shard Remedies says you have to do something this month, that's what you have to do. You can mix this up. You are independent. You can choose your own things that suit you as well. Yeah, flip flop fleet party. Really nice one to be able to do. Yeah, great. You did tailor-made monthly treatment. I think that is the thing, because if people think it's special or put a deadline on it, they know they've got to book by the end of that month. It's a good way to make sure that you're getting people to focus on booking with you. Yeah. Be beautifully relaxed. Lovely. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Anything that changes, it's a reason to be in touch with customers. All right, so let's move on to showcases. So for me, at this moment, I'm generally doing online showcases. That seems to be what people want to do. Now, of course, I'm offering out face-to-face because I'm happy to do that. But it does seem to be that people want to come online, either with their friends or come to a self-host. So this is a fairly simple way of doing something online or in person. So when I'm sending out my little packs of samples for onlines, I tend to send 2 smelling strips, perfume strips. So for this month, I'm going to do on one of them a couple of drops of mandarin essential oil, which will be on scent strip number 1, and on scent strip number 2 will be the calming essential oil. So I'll get them to smell number 1 first. That kind of icebreaker idea. How does it make you feel? Do you like it? Does it remind you of anything? Maybe a moment of, aromatherapy, or our sense of smell has the longest memory of all of our senses. So actually things that we smell may well take us further back in our memories than a taste or a sound of anything. If you think often music takes people to a certain place, smell does that and a little bit more. So I get them to, if it's a group, if I'm self-hosting a group that don't know each other so well, it's quite a nice way of getting people to chat. And it also just makes them get into the space of, this is what we're doing, this is about aromatherapy. And because I can't give everyone a diffuser to use at home, it's a nice way just to be able to introduce that aroma right from the beginning. And then I get them to compare that with strip number 2, which has got the calming essential oil. So then I can talk a little bit about the oils in that, and just be able to talk about the calming one being really good for family. Again, a family-friendly essential oil. Michaela, good question. How long do the essential oils last if I send them in the post? I often send them on, say, a Friday for a workshop on a Wednesday evening, and that seems to be okay. I don't wrap them in anything. I used to send them in bits of nasty plastic and cling film and all sorts, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to send them naked in the box, because then when I go to the post office, anyone who's working in the post office gets a real waft of, oh, what are you sending this time? And it means I can chat to them about Neil Shard Remedies. And then when somebody gets their post, actually, it already smells lovely as it comes through the letterbox. So they're looking forward to the showcase even more. So for the showcase itself, I will be sending a Be Lovely hand wash or potentially a shower gel sample. So I'll get them to have a bowl of warm water, put the hand wash or shower gel in there and do a hand soak. And whilst they're soaking their hands, I can tell them a little bit about the honey and the orange provenance stories, which we've already covered. So find that information in downloads and you can talk them through that. And then, that will provoke some conversation and questions from your audience. So you just, again, get that feeling of it. Everyone's relaxed into what you're doing. They're not worrying about what they were, at 5 to 8 before they came onto your showcase. I'm also going to ask them to have some, preferably brown sugar, but you know, it's not the end of the world if it's white or anything else. And I'm going to send them a little pot with Be Lovely All Over Balm in, and get them to mix that with the brown sugar. And this makes a really lovely homemade scrub. So it's a nice way. Yeah, Demerara sugar, perfect. So to be able to use this as a hand scrub, and just again, it's just to make people stop and think about what are they using, have time to smell the aromatherapy so they can actually relax and calm down with it. And at that point, you can talk about the saving, or we're not saving, that we have created enough beehives for 50 million bees over the last 10 years, and talk about the Ghana Cashew Nut Project. So then they'll rinse that off and then use the arm moisturizer, the Be Lovely hand lotion as an arm moisturizer. And then they can do a little hand massage using the hand cream or the body butter. So part of this depends on which products you've got. Now, I know for leaders that we've been able to win a set of all of the products, so it's a nice way to get lots of those in. But if you haven't got any Be Lovely products, this isn't a case of write a great long list of all the products that you have to buy to be able to create the workshop. You can do this with probably one Be Lovely product and add some other things in. So if it meant adding in frankincense and mandarin body polish, you wanted to do that instead of using the brown sugar scrub, you can do that. So you can mix and match this a bit. It's not prescriptive, it's just to give you an idea about if you've got the products, or if you want to add one or two into your kit, then this is some different ways of using them. Yes, Wendy, I do. Wendy's asked, do you send all the samples in the pot, little pots? Yes, I do, yeah. And if people are local, I ask them to wash them out and give them back to me so I can reuse them, or suggest that they can reuse them again for traveling if they want to. There is a PDF in downloads called Be Lovely this summer, so you can find a hand massage in there with an idea if you want to talk people through how to do a self hand massage. If you've got people face to face, they might want to do this in pairs and actually massage each other's hands, but obviously online that's not really going to be possible. So that's ideas about the Be Lovely showcase. Any questions about it, just pop them in the chat, because that seems to be working quite well. And then actually Sian and I have created this for both of our teams. I'm sure you will have received this by email and on Facebook as well. So this month is obviously we're going to be busy, and we've created this these rewards. So a little bit like bingo, but this is Beehive Bingo. So you've got the little cells with the things that you need to do. So hosting 2 showcases in May, and please put them on the event and party calendar. Placing orders for 100 points, sorry, £100. I can't read my own writing. Sorry. Start again. Placing orders for 100 points, 200 points, or 300 points. So those are different, obviously different sales. Recruiting somebody in May. Activating a new recruit. Now that doesn't have to be someone recruited in May. That could just be activating someone that you've recruited recently. And recruiting 2 people in May. Booking 2 showcases into the June calendar. Now, this is where we trust you. So if you've booked them into June, we are expecting that you go ahead with them in June, but you can use that as one of your Beehive Bingo cells to be able to add that in for getting a full house, or doing 2 or 3 for the different prizes. But that's where we're going to trust you. And then also just being in contact with 5 customers or clients, chatting to them to see if they need to reorder, or if they want to join any of your events that you're doing. And then the prizes at the bottom, selection of sample sachets and teas for 2 cells, for 3 cells. We will send you 6 sets of mini facial sample packs, so you can use those for showcasing, or you can use them as gifts for your good clients to give them a mini facial in a bag. For Sales is specialist stickers. So this is a local business to me that I found. So these are stickers that you can put onto things that you post out to customers with things like Happy Mail. There's also one which I really like, is this. It's a recycling emblem which says, "I may be tatty, but I'm recycled," because I reuse lots and lots of packaging. I often think it doesn't look amazing if it's sent out to customers, but I would rather do that than keep buying new and having lots of jiffy bags that I get things in that I can't reuse. So I think it's just a nice way just to say, I know that this doesn't look great, but actually, you know, I'm doing it for all the right reasons. And some ones which are about with bees on as well, and some thank you cards. And then if you do all of the sales, then in the post you will receive a cream tea for 2 and some honeycomb from My Bees. So for those of you who might have had honeycomb before, that's your incentive to get cracking on this and do all of it. Okay, so other incentives that are going on. So we're also running out of time. So over the Be Lovely, Friday the 20th of May is World Bee Day. But Sian and I decided that we would create a bee weekend. So it's from Thursday the 19th through to Sunday the 22nd. We're encouraging you to get your bookings in and concentrate on those 4 days. So this is to do showcases, to maybe get people together. If you've got a family friendly one, I've just put a couple of pictures up here of images I found on the internet that you can make puppets, like little finger puppets out of. I love that little bee finger puppet. Things to colour in so that you can get parents and kids together to come and try the products, but also with some things for the kids to do. So when you've booked something onto that weekend over those 4 days, if you're in Sian's team, please message her. If you're in my team, please message me. And for every 10th booking that we receive a message about, that person will receive a full-size Be Lovely product. So a shower gel or a body butter, that kind of thing. So do keep in touch with us. And that doesn't have to be on the weekend that you tell us. You can be booking them now and telling us that that's what you're doing. And we'll keep a record of exactly what's happening with all of the team. And of course, we'll shout about when we're sending out free products to people. So you kind of, all right, we're at number 15 now. Maybe if I send mine now, maybe I'll be the 20th. So you can kind of try and judge that. And a booking is getting a group of people around product or collecting orders. If you're a therapist, you might be collecting orders. You might have done a newsletter about Be Lovely and you're collecting orders around that. So it is a collection of orders, but often with, you know, using the product as well. Then on to just a couple of things extra from Neal's Yard Remedies. So we've got these platinum tickets, which we've launched this month. So just on a couple of them, just to explain what they are. One of them is that we have 10 starter kits, which when people join, that they will get a, oh gosh, Tanya, go and get your cake. Don't let it burn. But there are 10 starter kits which the new recruits will receive a platinum ticket in their kit, and that means they will get a full refund for the kit. That's 5 of the standard starter kit and 5 of the premium starter kit. So during the month, 10 people will be refunded, which I think is an amazing thing to be able to get. So that's another great recruiting tool for you. And then the one for consultants, platinum ticket, again, these are in downloads. For every party order that you do, which is 70 points or more, so this is not web orders, this is when you're probably self-hosting, or if you've got a group of orders together, as long as the order is over 70 points, there are 70 platinum tickets which will go to consultants, and you will win one of these, and this will come with the order. So there are 4 icon edit boxes, which are those big gift packs that we had around Christmas time, which are worth about £330. It's 3 drawers of products. It's amazing. There's 4 of those. I think there are 12 Be Lovely product collections. So that's all of the Be Lovely products. I think there's 12 of those. There are some Mandarin essential oils. There's the All Over Balm. The Nourishing collection is the Be Lovely gift box. So there's a number of those. There's a number of the aromatic collection, that gift box as well. And there are a number of the frankincense intense age-defying skincare kits. So apart from the icon box, if you win one of these gifts, it will be in your order and the platinum ticket will be in there. If it's the icon box, that has to be sent as a separate box because it's such a big thing, but you will have the platinum ticket in there. And what we'd love you to do is share all of these things on social media as well. So if you have a platinum ticket, make sure that it's out there and really well known. The thing we have for hosts is we've got 10 Be Lovely body butters. So when you're putting in, if someone's hosting, when you put that on the calendar, make sure you put your host's name and their telephone number, because consultant services will contact the host to send them that product, send them their free gift. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these platinum tickets all over the place. And then just one or two other bits for you. Some of the social media assets which are in downloads. So again, these great stories about what percentage of our sales goes to the bee charities, about the cashew nut farmers. So it's a really nice way to make your social media stories a little bit more interactive than just here's the product, here's the product, here's the product. And the hashtag for this month for Be Lovely is hashtag NYRO Be Lovely Together, hence the name of this, this session that we're doing. And last but not least, what would a training be without an action plan for you? So part of your action plan is to share the Platinum News. So make sure that you're telling people so that if they join, if they host, that they'll be able to win things. Obviously the one for the consultant, so the 70 gifts that you get as a consultant, don't share that on social media because it's you that's going to get the prize. It's not really encouraging to people. Making sure if you're a therapist to add in a treatment with a bit of a theme of Be Lovely. Book dates for the Be Lovely weekend. And the focus around, so booking your dates for showcases, and then the focus around the 20th of May as well. So over that weekend. Okay, so quick, rush through Be Lovely. You know how I am, don't like to stop and stare at things. Okay, the 70 pp is for total order for sales. Yes, it is. Yes, yeah. So that might be one order that you've put through for somebody, might be 2 or 3 of smaller ones. So that's, yeah, I think it's a really generous way of sharing lots and lots of gifts. Great, 70 prizes, clearly 70 prizes. Platinum is 70 years for anyone that didn't join those dots. Sometimes that, yeah, loses it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope you've got all the information you need. Otherwise, get onto your websites, look in downloads, look at your replicated sites for product information, and send any questions if you've got them. All right. Have a lovely day. Happy lunch break. See you soon. Bye for now.